What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news concerning Dillian Whyte. As we know, Alexander Usyk did shock and knock out David Bellew in the eighth round, and it was a spectacular knockout, a great finish. He used precision in there, and Dillian Whyte had a lot to say. Dillian Whyte said that he would straight up and down maul Usyk. Okay. He said that Usyk's a small. Of course, Usyk is going up to heavyweight to challenge for really to wage war on the heavyweight division. His dream is to fight Anthony Joshua to unify all the belts, so he wants to fight the heavyweights. Okay. Dillian Whyte went on to say, heavyweights are bigger and stronger guys, and they would manhandle him. If I fought him, I would do what Tony Bellew. I wouldn't do what Tony Bellew was doing. I'd be charging all around the ring. Okay, let me stop there. Okay. First off, that's the only way or the only strategy I would think that would benefit Dillian Whyte, and he's a come forward fighter anyway. He's a dog. He comes to fight. He comes to exchange. He wants to give you his best, and in return, he wants the best from you. That's how Dillian Whyte is. He's a can man, like he stated. Anyone can get it. Because the movement of Usyk, and he goes on to talk about the movement, would give a lot of people problems. He said, I can never see him shock a real heavyweight. Maybe his movement to some lazy heavyweights, but as a heavyweight, you close it down, you nullify it, and you beat him up, you rough him up. Okay. Well, I could see Dillian Whyte doing that. I could definitely see him coming forward, charging Usyk if they were to fight, theoretically. Okay. But again, that would be the best game plan for Dillian Whyte, depending on his size or whatever. And he said, someone like a lazy heavyweight. I don't know who he's referring to. If it does come down to it, I would have to suggest to Dillian Whyte he would have to be in good conditioning, in good shape. If he came in like he was with Joseph Parker, because Joseph Parker got back up. It was the first time he got dropped to the canvas like that ever. But he did get back up. Now, it did show real power, that left hook. But that's Joseph Parker compared to a guy coming up smaller, which he wouldn't be naturally smaller. And he would see things like that coming, especially from the southpaw stance. Okay. So, Dillian Whyte would rely on his power and his size to win this fight, which he would have to be worried about his conditioning too. But he went on to say, he's not going to drop me with one punch. I would maul him all night long. I would fight him in every uncomfortable zone for him. See, that's the problem. Like, look at Lomachenko. Loma is a fighter that he's not a power fighter. He's a volume fighter. He hits you with punches that you don't see. You think you seen that punch? You think he's seen that left hand? No, he didn't even see it. That's why it caught him so flush. That's why it surprised him. That's why it was so much shock, to his brain. Okay, because you didn't see a punch. Those are the punches that are going to hurt you the most, regardless of how much power. See, Dillian Whyte's philosophy, he thinks that just because he can take a punch from a smaller guy, he will be okay. Here's the deal. If Usyk starts throwing punches with him or to him that he can't see, okay, it's gonna be one of them situations where he gets caught with something that he won't expect to be that would land that effectively, that would take him out. And he probably could knock him out with one shot, but who knows? He's a cruiserweight champion at the end of the day. He's not coming from 175. He's not coming from light heavyweight. He's coming from cruiserweight. Ask David Hay about that. You know what I mean? So, he did say, he can fight. Anybody can get it. So I guess that's Dillian Whyte's way of calling out Usyk. And Eddie Hearn last night in the post press conference did mention him one of the future opponents for Usyk, and he will be, if he's not in vacation or not still on vacation, will be attending the Dereck Chisora Dillian Whyte 2 fight. I guess to get a closer look at Dillian Whyte or Chisora, depends on who wins. Of course, I think Hearn would like Dillian Whyte, his boy, to win, obviously, but that would be a good fight to see. And a lot of times, Dillian Whyte would anticipate Usyk being there, and he won't be. You know what I mean? Because Usyk is a very, very mobile guy. He is the kind of guy that will frustrate you, like he mentioned. He mentioned that, the movement is frustrating. It's annoying, he put it. That was his words he used. But really, that's strategy. You know what I mean? That's one of the things that people can extract from the amateur styles. Your ability to move. It's not all about blocking and weaving and bobbing. A lot of times you just got to move. You know what I mean? Why would you have to worry about weaving a punch where you don't even have to be in that same space as that punch? And it keeps the fighter guessing. Dillian Whyte, I think he would frustrate Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte would have some success in there when he gets him to the ropes, but not a lot. You know what I mean? He's saying that, I'll weigh on his body. I'll outweigh him by like 2 or 3 stones. Well, I think that would probably be a disadvantage because you'll have someone smaller than you that can move like you. And make no mistake about it, guys. Usyk fighting a guy like Dillian Whyte is not, it's not the same as Roy fighting Holyfield, okay? It's more like Roy fighting John the Quiet Man Ruiz. You know what I'm saying? Because Dillian Whyte does not have like superb boxing skills, and he's nowhere on the level as Holyfield to me. He has a good left hook and all, but conditioning, Holyfield's a warrior. He's a beast. And of course, he came from cruiserweight, by way of middleweight and other weight classes, right? Because he started at middleweight when he started his career. So, I feel Dillian Whyte, another thing people don't realize about Dillian Whyte now, it's easy to call out a guy that you did not pick to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't pick Usyk to win. He was actually rooting for Tony Bellew. He said, I think Tony Bellew will drop him. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I think that'll happen. So if your prediction didn't come out the way you expected it to, it's easy to be a little salty in the game or to call out that fighter after he's won a fight that you, especially if you see flaws in that fighter, which there were some flaws that Usyk did possess. Not many though. He got hit up top. He got hit on top of the head, more like in the eye areas. You know what I mean? But for the most part, he had that left guard blocked. So he never really hit Usyk in the chin. He either hit him in the nose and again up in the upper body around his temples and his forehead, but he did not really connect a lot of times when it came to his chin. Okay, so that's really important, and he kept that tucked. And that's coming from just practicing the right technique. You know what I mean? That coming from technique, defense. And you notice guys in the Ukraine now, these new guys, they are really changing and setting the bar for defense and offense. You know what I mean? They do different things. They do mind games. It's a mental thing. And they asked him, well, what'd you do? He was like, I was fulfilling my task, almost like a machine. You know what I mean? Someone that are a programmed soldier, so to speak. You know what I mean? A disciplined soldier that had an objective, and he was going to fulfill that objective. And he started from the press conference through the face-off through the bout, and he fulfilled his objective. So it was almost like that. I had to, we had a game plan, and I had to, fulfill that. You know what I mean? And he just said it like a soldier or something, like some kind of super soldier. So, but yeah. I look forward to that fight, Dillian Whyte and Usyk, if that fight happens, if it matures. I would love to see it. Why not? You know what I'm saying? It would be a good introduction. Maybe not the first fight for Usyk, but definitely a fight in the future. Definitely next year, 2019, probably the fall of 2019, and I see him fighting maybe AJ or something. Depends on how 19 delivers people. You know what I mean? What it has to offer. But of course, you guys tell me what you think about Dillian Whyte's comments. Please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunched. Peace.